watching Ism TV. Right about now, we have a special guest. Long time coming. Great to have you here. Let the world know who you are. Spell your name out for them so they
All
can
right,
know who we talking to.
all right. What's up, beautiful people? My name is Acion Owens. That's Aceyon
That's what's up.
Owens. I'm a poet, international slam poet, writer, actor, director, just full
Gumbo.
fledged entertainer, man. I do everything,
That's what's up. And
everything.
when did you first started doing poetry? A lot of people in Rochester know you strongly for poetry. You know, when I met you, you were on stage at a young age, you know what I mean, young, coming up.
I ain't gonna lie, I've been doing it for almost 20 years.
Right.
I've been doing this for a minute. I started. I didn't know that there was poetry in Rochester, so the fuck things you see in the city, man.
Got distracted a little bit. Right.
This motherfucker about to walk by.
It's all good. He don't
Put
see
him on
you.
camera. Turn the camera on.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh man.
the artistry in Rochester, no matter how eclectic and diverse it is, you gotta respect it. I started doing poetry in Rochester. I'm gonna say I was like 20 something. I went to New York because I didn't know about the poetry in Rochester, so I had to go to New Eurekan Cafe. That's where I popped my cherry. And I was visiting family. She was like, "You always doing this poetry? I'm gonna take you to a place you
Where's
can
that
actually do."
cafe located at?
New Eurekan.
Yeah.
So I believe it's the Lower East Side of
Man,
Manhattan.
okay.
Am I correct? I don't know if it's. I don't really know
But
the
it's not in Rochester.
location. No, New Eurekan is a famous poetry spot in New York City where the stage was graced with greats like Nikki Giovanni and other people who've actually gone to New York and spit. So I was blessed to just go there. I didn't know about it. I didn't know the capacity and the weight of it until years later when I'm telling people this story and they're like, "Oh, you know what that was?" No,
You didn't know that it was a historical place during
no,
that time.
no.
And I would say, what, 19, 20 years, I wouldn't say it's kind of old to tap it into poetry because I've been writing since I was a kid.
Right,
Were
right.
you writing, dabbling, and didn't consider it poetry then, or
Oh
was it just
yeah. I was dabbling. I was using little quick lines, coming up with stuff, and I didn't respect it.
right?
I didn't respect it until I hit adulthood and actually started to write my thoughts and my feelings. And then my old mentor, Jahaka Mindstorm, he said, you're a slam poet. I didn't even know what a slam poet was
Wow.
until, you know, he opened it up and showed it to me. No funny. He showed me the levels of artistry, the levels of poetry. And as I started to go deeper, my sister Grace Flores, she encouraged me to read into other authors, Etheridge Knight, Gil Scott Heron, people like that. And as I started to progress over my lifespan, I've begun to learn all these different artists, to network with these people from all over. Now I travel, go out of town, do shows, go out of the country and do shows, and it's not to the level of, let's say, a Black Ice or a Lemon or any of those people who are getting paid thousands of dollars, but still doing my thing.
So you definitely have rubbed elbows with a lot of poets from the local scene. What was it like coming up in the local scene back then? I know you mentioned Jahaka and Grace. Um, During that time, it was, I believe, it was West Main that had the little.
Underground
There
Cafe.
we go.
Underground Cafe. It was at one point it was four people in the building, and then you had the owner, the bartender, and then you had me and Grace. And we took those small places where you just have the doughboys in there getting a Thursday night drink, bring their little side chick. They want to show up. We turned it into them sitting there, stopping what they doing and listening to us. to us having sold out shows where they've told their friends and their people, and they've come and they listen to us. And we built it up to the point where we would have an open mic in every spot in Rochester. At one point, we had an open mic every day of the week. It was back when Venue was open on St. Paul and
Many
Triple
days.
Deuces and oh my God, what was that one spot that was right? Because that whole strip on St. Paul,
St. Paul.
we had set them all up with open mics.
Wow.
Then you had Boulder's Cafe. You had Underground Cafe. Then we had Pazos. It was just, it was so much. And,
Any
you know,
favorite pieces that you wrote that sticks out to you right now? If you could think about
oh man.
that sticks out to you.
The poem I wrote for my grandmother, I was able to hear her stories. And it's still up for debate within my family. But I swear to you, she told me that she voted, said she wouldn't vote for Obama.
Oh wow.
And some family members, you know, they say, I don't remember mama saying that. Listen, I'm telling you what she told me. All right? Fuck you. I'm telling you what my grandmama told me.
Right.
So I had the pleasure of sitting there and talking to her, and I took that experience of our conversation and knowing what she went through in life, because, you know, I was grandma's boy.
That's what I was about to ask.
Yeah,
Was
man,
you
I was a grandma's boy.
Okay.
I was the one that was sitting there watching People's Court with her and Sanford and Son and, you know, Judge Wapner and all that. I was sitting there with grandma. So hearing her stories about growing up and you know, hearing what she went through, I was able to write that poem about my grandmother voting. And I ended up turning it into a slam piece.
Wow.
And it's something that's still, there was one line when I said, no matter how life is so stressed, this original soldieress always kept her soul dressed with high hopes of a better future and a brighter day, even when her soul stressed. As she walked those dirt roads soulless to school and calmly cleaned her feet that went without shoes, as she studied in that impoverished classroom, she knew God has a better plans for blacks than this. Never in a million years you think you go to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue as colored people got beat or lynched for attempting to drink from the same water fountain, eat at the same lunch counter, share a seat where the white man would sit. And for all you fashion divas who can't live without cell phone text messages, you just don't know what a hard knock life is. That was just a little segment of it, but it was just a reminder of humble beginnings, you know, and you know,
How did you manage to develop your memorization when it comes to getting your material together?
and stop smoking weed. I'm lying. That don't help at all. It really don't. It's just memorization, man. It's repetition. If you really want something, you want to try and memorize something, the best thing for you to do is just say it over and over again to the point that it's like a catchy song. You're just hearing it over and over and over again, and the next thing you know, out of nowhere, you're saying it without even knowing. You know what I'm saying? It's.
When did you try your freestyle ability? Because I've seen you have some written material,
And then you
and
see
then
me
I've
start
seen you
freestyling. Yeah.
freestyle, and it was a different place. So when did you find your place when it came to doing?
I used to. Shout out to my boy Agape Towns. He was one of the poets I ran into when I first started. Actually, the first night of me doing popping my cherry. Well, I already popped my cherry in New Eurekan, but my first night of performing in Rochester, I ran into Agape Towns. Uh, I ran into Shantara and Nikwa and Elliot. These are poets who've gone on and expanded, and they were part of the Brave New Voices. It's so much, but Agape,
Shout out to Agape. He was in one of my first.
yeah, that's my family right there. He used to freestyle poetry, and we would just go back and forth with lines, you know. So Agape would do, we would do sessions, go back and forth with lyrical rounds. Lyrical laps is what it was called. I didn't start like I used to always just freestyle rap with my peoples. You know, everybody wanted to be a rapper.
Yeah.
So I I knew I was able to freestyle when I needed to, but when it came to the poetry, I didn't have to worry about the beat. I
Right.
didn't have to worry about, so I could
Your own time.
just take my own time,
And control the pace.
control it. Not trying to look for something to match up with the rhyme pattern. No, you just take your time to speak. And when I started to really, really get deep into it, I utilized the moment, the people, I fed off of the area. So if I'm at an erotic event, I know how to switch.
Right.
If I'm at a church event, I know how to switch. You know what I mean? Because you got the
Conscious of-
main subject that you got to pay attention to: church, erotic, protests, nonviolence, anything like that. You got that main subject there, and then you just go off of it, and you also make it relatable to where you can feel it. Because if it ain't something that you feel passionate about, you wasting your time. And nobody want to hear that bullshit. Honestly, if you going off just some bullshit trying to like, nah, let me go on over here. Let me go back to my drink. This nigga ain't talking about nothing.
So nowadays, what do we have going on? And what do we have to look forward to in the future?
Well, nowadays, I really don't do that much performing in Rochester. It's not that I don't have time to. It's just that I work a lot. I love my city, but I be fucking up.
Gotta get that.
I gotta get the money. So I do a lot of traveling. I've just recently come back from Raleigh, North Carolina. Shout out to the Honey Drip. That's a poetry collective. I'm a part of a national poetry collective. And we meet up in different parts of the country and we perform. So we just got back from Raleigh doing a showcase there. I'm about to get myself ready to go to Philly to do an erotic poetry showcase. And then I got to go back to Albany and do a poetry showcase. So I mostly just travel, performing, and just trying to expand and build my craft.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
How can we get a hold of you in case we wanted to tap in, for people that want to support you?
You can hit me up, Acion Owens, Instagram, Acion Owens, Facebook, it's ACEYON, Acion Owens. TikTok, they're all the same. So ain't no you ain't gonna come up with all different kind of names with me. Nah. If you come across anything with my picture and they ain't got my name attached to it, that shit ain't me. So you best be careful.
I appreciate your time, man. You watching Izza T with your boy Acion.
Anytime, bless.
Time coming, and we definitely want to have you back so we can get some more material. And good luck with everything.
Most definitely. Y'all stay blessed, stay positive and free of this drama, man.
That's what's up. I appreciate your time. You watching Izza TV.
All day.
Peace.